Well, good morning. This morning, I would just like to read a little teaser for this idea I have for a series of talks. So without ado, here we are. Faith beyond religion, understanding the human need for meaning, certainty, and disagreement. Well, welcome to the podcast where it's a journey into the deeper layers of human psychology, belief systems, and our innate need to find meaning in the chaos of life. This series will challenge the assumption that faith is a concept tied exclusively to religion, proposing instead that it permeates every aspect of our lives. From our allegiance to sports teams and political ideologies to our faith in science and technology. What does it mean to have faith? And how does it influence our decisions, our conflicts, and our understanding of reality? Today, we'll begin by exploring three central questions. What is faith, really? Is it solely religious, or does it extend into all areas of human experience? How does the human tendency to create meaning, often unconsciously, drive our actions and shape our world? 2, how do we navigate the uncertainty of life? Our need for certainty can be seen in our tribalism. Whether we support a sports team, a political party, or even a brand like Apple or Google, this extends into how we view the world through fixed belief systems. But we'll ask, how does our faith in these systems blind us to new ideas? And 3, can disagreement be a tool for understanding? Disagreement is often framed as negative. But what if it is the key to progress? By rejecting easy harmony, we can delve into deeper truths and creative solutions. Drawing from thinkers like Adam Grant, Carl Jung, and Daniel Kahneman, just to name a few, we will explore how embracing discomfort and doubt is a pathway to knowledge. Faith, more than religion. When we talk about faith, many people think first of religion, but what if I told you that faith is not just about religious belief, but is an essential, inherent part of the human condition? Faith is present every time we choose to believe in something we cannot fully know, whether that's faith in scientific progress, political ideologies, or our own personal narratives. William James, in his Varieties of Religious Experience, identified faith as a deeply human impulse, one that provides structure in the face of life's uncertainties. But this impulse doesn't stop at religion. Consider the way people fiercely defend their chosen sports team or political party. This too is a form of faith, a desire to belong to something greater than ourselves, to find certainty in an otherwise unpredictable world. And it's for this reason I often call William James' work the Varieties of Human Experience. We'll also draw from the insights of Paul Tillich, who wrote that faith is the ultimate concern, something that extends to anything we hold as sacred, whether that's religion, technology, or even our belief in rationality itself. The real challenge we face is recognizing when our faith becomes dogmatic, blinding us to other perspectives or new truths. The need for certainty and the role of tribalism. Humans are meaning-making machines. We see faces in clouds, patterns in randomness, and order in chaos. We can't help it. It's hardwired into our psychology. But this tendency, while useful for survival, also makes us prone to rational tribalism. This is where we start to see the roots of many modern problems. We don't just have faith in religion. We have faith in our political affiliations, in our preferred brands, in sports teams, and even in our diets. Think about the loyalty people have to their smartphones, be it Android or Apple. These are not mere consumer choices. They are identity markers. In the same way that someone might be faithful to their religion, people display irrational attachments to secular beliefs and practices. It's the identity we require to be certain but at the same time, uncertain of one's identity can denature everything in our life. That's why I say the self is the greatest tool and the greatest barrier to this individuation, to coming to know who you are. As Nietzsche said, we are the knowers, but the last person we're likely to come to know is ourselves. Now, Daniel Kahneman, in Thinking Fast and Slow, describes how our minds are overconfident in our ability to know the world. I think of Sheldon Cooper, I think from the Big Bang Theory, and this is a quote from Adam Grant's book, but also from the TV show, that he stated, when he's in error, it makes him sad as a physician because, right, this juxtaposition that if he is a doctor of physics, he should understand the world completely and shouldn't err. But I find it funny that Adam Grant forgot to mention that, well, that's not science. Science is a struggle to understand, and that's not something that happens once. So we would create models, mental shortcuts that simplify reality, giving us a sense of certainty. In fact, it's worse than that. As Nietzsche talked about his ressentiment, modern science has actually confirmed this in a sense that it's looked at how our memory works. And because of how we see the world as Gestalt, right? We look at a cat, we don't see furs, flesh, and claws. We see the complex of all of that, the tail and the fur and the eyes and the ears. That becomes the cat for us. And in reality, that is the identity as well. It is a construct, but it can be an informative and guiding construct, or it can be a diluting and degenerating one. It's up to us from moment to moment to decide how we're going to construct, how we're going to frame who and what we are. So this is crucial, this simplifying of reality, giving us a sense of certainty. This is crucial for navigating a complex world, but it often leads to cognitive biases and overconfidence in our beliefs. In this series, we'll look at how tribalism manifests, drawing parallels between ancient religious faith and modern secular belief systems. We'll also examine how this need for certainty prevents us from questioning our assumptions, leaving little room for doubt and personal growth. So, disagreement, a tool for creativity. Now, here's a thought. What if disagreement isn't a bad thing? What if our reluctance to disagree or our discomfort with conflict is one of the reasons why we're struggling to innovate and think critically? I want to challenge the idea that harmony is the ultimate goal. Adam Grant in Think Again argues that true progress comes from constantly rethinking our ideas, and that agreement is often the path to intellectual stagnation. In fact, some of the greatest minds in history, from Galileo to Einstein, thrived on disagreement, using it as a tool to push boundaries. In my own experience, being disagreeable is often misunderstood. I'm not disagreeing for the sake of conflict. Rather, I'm searching for truth. Many of us have experienced situations where task disagreements turned into personal conflicts. But in reality, those task disagreements, when handled productively, are a pathway, and often our best pathway, to deeper understanding. This is where Carl Jung's concept of individuation becomes important. Jung argued that the path to personal and intellectual development requires confronting our unconscious biases. Often, disagreement forces us to look at the parts of ourselves we'd rather ignore. It's uncomfortable, but it's essential for growth. This is shadow work as well, or one of my favorite quotes from Carl Jung is, sometimes we need to leave reason aside to explore the sense and nonsense. But it's not what you think. Right? The sense and nonsense is a label we've applied. So setting aside the label of rationality to explore the labels of sense and nonsense allows us to understand that maybe we were wrong. And as Jung said, if what I used to hold as error guides me better than what I held as truth, then I'll be guided by the error. By exploring Jung's ideas, we'll discuss how disagreements, whether they're in personal relationships or intellectual debates, can be harnessed as tools for self-knowledge and societal progress, and arguably the absence of which will lead to the degeneration of the self and society both. The challenge ahead, embracing uncertainty. In the end, this series is about reframing the way we think about faith, certainty, and disagreement. We'll question long-held assumptions and explore how the discomfort of uncertainty is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. As Jung once said, the vast majority of suffering in this world stems from unconscious actions. The more conscious we become of our faith, of our present, of our awareness itself, the more commonly we hold ourselves in awareness, what some people would call mindfulness, be it religious or secular, the more we can actively shape our beliefs and decisions, the less that Nietzsche's ressentiment, or in modern parlance, we would call that traumas, the less we allow our previous experiences to impinge on our daily activities, the less of re-experiencing something that happened in the past, re-experiencing it in the present, the less that happens, the more we can actively shape our beliefs and our decisions, our world around us, and reduce this inherent suffering that is our lot. Faith, then, becomes not a static belief in one truth, but an evolving trust in the process of understanding itself. Whether we're facing the uncertainties of modern life, climate change, political upheaval, or even personal crises, the ability to hold on to a rational faith in uncertainty while embracing disagreement is the key to moving forward. So what's next? This is just the beginning of our exploration, right? Over the course of a possible series, we'll dive deeper into these ideas, exploring how faith operates in our daily lives, how disagreement can be transformed into a tool for creativity, and how we can learn to live with and even thrive in uncertainty. We'll pull from the wisdom of great thinkers, past and present, and use these insights to navigate the complex, ever-changing world we inhabit today. So on that, thank you for joining me today, and I hope that what we discussed either guides you or may act as a string for you to pull in your own exploration, or I may be completely wrong. And as I've said before, like Hegel, maybe I'll inspire as many philosophers as he did with my terrible ideas. So either way, with an open mind, challenging the status quo, what used to be called sophistry, being able to steel man your opponent's argument, not straw man, to be able to even challenge yourself on what you hold to be true. Those are the greatest forecasters. And that's the difference between wisdom and knowledge, is knowing how much there is to know and how little of it you do know. Thank you.